Big Papa Truth just came back from the dentist, so I'm gonna let the video speak for itself. It's time to expose YouTube's new head of global music, Mr. Liar Cohen.
Yo, who's this?
Hold up. This is the Drink Champs, the #1 podcast in the business. And right now, we're talking to, hands down, the most important man, in my opinion, in the whole music game. He's a mogul. He's been doing this. He personally signed me and taught me how to be a man with money. Right now, we got Leo Coles on the line. Let's make some noise.
Here is the famous Liar Cohen throwing up what he worships. And let's take a good look here at his resume. He's now the YouTube global head of music. Yeah, that's right, YouTube. Once again, they put their favorite people at the tops of their positions for Google, YouTube. This guy somehow managed to have all these guys, signed them all within a few years. But it's just crazy because I ain't never heard of the dude until now. And then, I've heard of the other producers like Puff Daddy or even Suge Knight, but this dude, I guess, stood up to all of them. Pretty much he's always ran the show. He's the propaganda master. He's the puppet master of the hip-hop world. If you're a star, you've worked for this dude, you've done whatever rituals or whatever contract negotiations.
Corporate force is running this rap shit. Saw Israeli is running this rap shit. We poke out our asses for a chance to cash in. Nazi homosexuals is running this rap shit. What yo? We're running the world.
Well, you heard him. A tall Israeli's running it, so maybe it's just a coincidence. Maybe there's another tall Israeli running it. I don't know. This guy's never worked a day in his life, made money off all these people that actually had talent but sold their souls. Probably their holes.
Going fantastic. Mogul talk. It's unbelievable.
We see he's been with all the big name guys, but let's take a look at the story of how it all started. Back with a $700 investment right out of college.
So, your friends bring you into the music fold. The story starts with you throwing a party in LA with the Circle Jerks and Run DMC.
I grew up with all the possibilities.
So you throw that first show, you invest $700, turn it into $30,000.
Yeah. Invested $700, made $36.
Now this was kind of hard to find, as he actually kind of is a crypto Jew, but as you see, he don't deny it when it comes down to it.
Radio, and we have a special guest calling in today, a luminary in our business and a proud Jew, Leo Cohen, ladies and gentlemen.
Clap it up, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Leo,
Thank you. I'm so thrilled and honored to be asked to do your radio station, especially on the last day of Hanukkah. L'chaim, shalom. Jewish people have always been involved in urban cultural arts, all the way back to the early beginnings of jazz music. It's just something that's always happened. Well, my mother was always the person encouraging me to experiment and to try to find a occupation that, in her words, could help me avoid work.
Why?
Because she felt like 99% of the world works and less than 1%
Are supposedly Jews.
I've already avoided work all my life.
Say it again. It wasn't right.
It wasn't right? No. This is Leon motherfucking Cohen.
You did.
300.
You did.
YSL. Come from Israel.
You get to New York, and by virtue of having a passport, when no one else in the office does, you end up going on the road with Run DMC.
Yes.
Wow, so this dude had his passport, so he got to become the road manager out of college. No way, man.
Here in the late 80s, you amass, clientele, basically everyone that matters in hip-hop, from De La Soul to Public Enemy.
And didn't want to sell. Now, here's how funny thing about life, okay? They forced me to sell at the highest month in the history of the music business. And if it was up to me, I would have rid it all the way down. How many years since 1999 is it been?
Yeah.
18, 19 years, all the way down. It's only now starting to bounce. Crazy, right? That's, that's a lot of luck involved in all of this stuff.
When you take over...
And that's the signature that I wanted to leave. At the Warner Music Group.
While you set up 300.
The concept of 300 happened because, first of all, I'm prepared to eat myself.
Surpassing 1 million subscribers, YouTube, by my main man, Mr. Leo, from day one.
You're powerful.
Yeah,
and
thank
we
you.
appreciate you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate. Oh, man.
So you have seen this tall Israeli Jew stand in the background of some of the biggest people in the hip-hop industry, the music industry, and no one really has said a whole lot about him. People come and go. This dude stays. He makes more money and more money. Now he's the head of YouTube, global music. I mean, now he's handing out gold play buttons too while he's got his own company, 300. I mean, do you see how big these people are? All starting with a $700 investment. Now he's with Google.
He's actually working with Google. Having been at the center of hip-hop from the beginning, and unequivocally involved with the music industry, he is a prime suspect when it comes to engineering culture. The first sentence of a mainstream music article from Complex about Lior Cohen says if there were a shadowy Illuminati controlling the world of rap, Lior Cohen would be its all-seeing eye, the man behind the scenes, pulling the strings of the most powerful players and reaping the benefits. People call it a name that probably isn't called the Illuminati, but they are referring to a real thing. A cult exists in Hollywood and the music industry, or a collective of cults, and they are involved with propagating bad ideas to the masses and altering our culture toward being consumeristic and docile.
What?
It's not Tuesday.
It's Wednesday.
Yes.
You do that. Yo, this is Leor Cohen, 300 YSL, and I'm here with Young Thug, otherwise known...
You take a look at these rappers he has signed today. Young Thug, so pushing this transgender stuff. Fetty Rap, totally throwing up the gay Jew Illuminati signs.
Because I think he's a fake CEO, and I think he's fronting on my culture, but he can't front on anybody else. And I'm calling him out publicly, and I want him to stop trying to rape my culture. Go make some money with some other people. Like, stop having your agenda be hip-hop. They have people that their job is to create beef so that they can monetize it. Pause. And to make a long story short, just to run down my resume really quickly, I created that show called Spring Bling. Artists like Eve, I helped create that image that we see it for now. Even after I left BET, I was Dave Chappelle's stand-in, so I saw everything that happened with him. And to really capitalize it even more, basically, since 1997, whatever has happened in urban America as far as the perception on television and film, I was basically the fly on the wall. So for me and the fellas around me, it was all fun, but we did not know that we were a part of a system. You understand? So I literally lived the devil taking me to the mountain and saying, you can go to the left, you can have all of this. And I was there. It was ritualistically done. The vice president sent his right-hand man to me 3 straight weekends. They do everything in 3s.
300.
He did. 3 weekends in a row. Hey, D-Brad, let's go hang out. And every weekend, he kept beating me in the head. Get rid of this Rap City, man. You can do more than Rap City, D-Brad. You can do more than you need to come with us. Then the 3rd night, it was the vice president's birthday. They picked me up in a long white stretch limo. We go to Joe's Uptown, up in the Bronx in New York. We go to Joey hanging in VIP. Get me everything I want. Then every time we hung out, it was the same way. Then they bring me to the back room. And in the back room, they have this long table with a white sheet set out. I mean, beautiful thing. Looked like the damn Last Supper. On one end is Derek Jeter, there's Stephon Marbury, there's Fat Joe, and I'm vice president is on me like this. I'm trying to talk to the model chick. She's like, nah, D-Brad, come on, sit right here. We get inside the limo. He drops his right-hand man off quickly. We're in the car. The man standing in the car looking at me like I owe him something now. And I know the look because when I was young, I had the same look for women that I took out. So I know the look, and I know the energy. And while he's doing that, he's sitting there with his legs spread open, rubbing his balls. Now, I'm in a situation where I'm like, no, what am I going to do? This is my vice president. This is my boss.
I'll tell you what Big Papa would have done. Yep. Going to the hospital. I'm out.